Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You're here with Victoria, and remember, all you need to do is just hit subscribe to tune into plenty more videos coming your way. Today is all about how to paint your nails. So I know a lot of people struggle with painting their own nails, and maybe you don't get time to go to the salon, or you're going out and suddenly you look at your nails and you think, they need to be polished. And it frightens a lot of people to try and polish their own nails, especially with like your brighter colours, your darker polishes, because I know from when I used to do mine, the moment you put it on, it ends up going everywhere on the skin, bleeding into all the cuticle, and then you just end up in a real mess. So I wanted to share with you some top tips of how to paint and polish your own nails to get that professional finish. So I'm going to paint over my gels today just to show you purely for this video. But what I've done first of all is I've just white blocked it just to take the shine off. Now first things first, when you're painting your own nails at home, what you need to do is wipe over the nails with a non-acetone polish remover. So just give them a good wipe over. Make sure that you're going to get rid of any dust or any oils and creams and lotions, potions, those kind of things that might be on the surface of the nail, which then could affect how well your polish is going to last. Now first things first, to get that professional finish is you want your base coat. So the brand that I'm working with today is OPI. I love OPI. I've loved them literally for 10, 11, 12 years. They are amazing. I don't think you can beat them on the polish front. However, they can be a little bit more pricey, especially when you're searching around. You know, if you've got cheaper polish, it's absolutely fine. You can achieve the same results. It's just how long they might last. So if you're having problems with your nail varnish not lasting, then maybe try just going up to like your OPI, or there's another brand called China Glaze. They're very good as well, maybe not so expensive. So what I'm going to do first of all is, when you put your base coat on, what I want you to do is, I'm just going to go nice and close. You're going to dip your brush right into your polish, and then I want you to wipe the back of one side like so, and then just the tip of the other, and then we're going to put that down. So we're just going to go right in, wipe the back of one side and then the tip of the other. And then all we're going to do is just start just away from the cuticle, and we're just going to nudge down, leaving a tiny gap right the way round, and then I'm going to pull back across the nail. I'm going to do the same just a little bit closer this side, so down, around the side, just away from the cuticle, and then nudge down. So I'm actually doing it nice and slowly. You don't have to rush. What a lot of you will probably be doing, and when I used to do my own nails when I was a lot younger, I used to just brush, keep brushing. And then before you know it, you've got like this really thick layer of base coat, and it never dries. You then touch something and then it smudges or dents into something. So the best thing to do, especially with your base coat, is those 3 strokes like what I just done, and then allow it to dry. So I would literally do all 10. By the time I've done all 10, I'm then good to go with my colour. So I'm going to use a nice bright colour for you today, just to show. So a lot of people will say to me, especially my girly friends will say, trying to paint my own nails is scary, don't do it, it ends up in a great big mess. But this is just the easiest way. Now you'll always find one hand easier. So if you're right-handed, your left hand's going to be easier to polish. And obviously your right hand's going to be harder because you're using the hand that you don't normally use. But what you can do is, I tend to start with my hardest hand first, because your concentration levels are higher, and then you obviously find your second hand a little bit easier. So again, what we're going to do is, I'll just go close for you to see. I'm going to dip it right in, and the trick is to load your brush up enough. So the OPI have a really nice thick brush, so I'm going to wipe the back, and then I'm going to wipe the tip of the other side. But if you can see, I've got quite a lot on my brush. If you dip it in and you wipe most of it off, when you then come to polish, you're just dragging it, or vice versa. If you've got too much on your brush, then you're going to struggle. So I'm going to dip it right in, I'm going to wipe the back and then the tip, and then I'm going to put it over there for a moment. And then I'm going to do the same technique. So I'm going to start just away from the cuticle, and I'm just going to nudge down, and then I'm going to put it all the way back, like so. So you can see that gap I've left at the cuticle. I'm then going to repeat that again. So I'm going to dip it in, just wipe the tip, and then I'm going to come this side. So I've got quite a bit on my brush, but I'm not rushing it either. I'm just taking my time. Now, the slower you polish, strangely enough, the better application you get. So I keep my hands nice and steady. Now, on my first layer, if I just turn my nail to the side, I've left more of a gap around the edges than I will do on my second layer. The reason I do that is just to get that nice shape going, first of all. And then on my second layer, I can just have a little bit more control and go around the sides. But if I hold it there, what you don't want to do is let this go any closer so it all bleeds onto the skin and onto the cuticle. Because once you get into that stage, then you might as well just take it off and start again. I've been there and I've done it and I know how frustrating it is. So just nice slow strokes. I started in the center, nudged it down, pulled it back, and then I've done the same on the other side. And then again, I'd do all 10 and then I'd come back and do my second layer. Now, if you turn the thumb and you can see that it's starting to dry, it loses that sort of glossiness as it did when you first put it on. And what you don't want to do is look at the nail and see that it's really thick. So if you've just done it in those 3 to 4 strokes, I would say, depending on how wide or how big the nail is, then you should be able to go on with your second layer quite quickly, okay? Just while that's drying, what you can do, I'll just bring some cotton wool in front of the camera to show you. One of my top tips is, and you'll all have this at home, so you can have some cotton wool. These are called little orange wood sticks, or you could use a cocktail stick. What the best thing to do is separate the cotton wool so you get that fluffy sort of texture. If I just tip that like so, a bit like candy floss. And then all we're going to do is just roll that wooden stick into it. I'll just move the cotton wool out so you've got it like there. And then all you're going to do is just twist that so it's nice and tight. And then simply all you need to do is dip it into your polish remover. And then again, if I just bring it back to camera, I then just give it a squish. And then if there was any little bits around the side, what you can do is just rub it off with your remover like so. How simple and easy that. Because you've got that point, you can even go right into the cuticle if you needed to, right around the sides. If you've got a shorter nail, you'll normally end up with it on the free edge, sorry, not the free edge, on the skin of the nail, you know, that bit underneath. You can just use this to do it. So that is like one of my things that I've literally done since I was about 14. It's stayed with me forever. Somebody showed it to me and then I just used it and used it. So I'm going to do my second layer now. Again, I'm going to load up my brush. Exactly the same. Now on your second layer, you're going to do the same technique. So we're going to start just away from the cuticle again. I'm going to nudge down and then again I'm going to pull back. Now the reason we do 2 layers normally is just to get that coverage, because sometimes you won't always get an even application on your first. So I'm just going over and I'm going to go a little bit closer on these sides now. Not too much because I don't want to be catching the side. So I'm just going to make sure, you see I've just gone a little bit closer, but I've still got that gap either side, just down there, and I've still got that gap at the end. And then what I like to do is just run my brush just around the free edge of the nail. Obviously if it's a shorter nail, if your nails are shorter and you haven't got that end of the nail, then I would just say, don't worry about that bit, but that just caps and seals everything in for you. And then the key thing is let it dry. Don't try now and put a top coat on for a good 5 to 10 minutes, because this is the mistake a lot of you will make. You'll go and polish your own nails, you'll be in a rush, you'll try and put your top coat on, and then they never fully dry. So when you then pick up your bag, put your hand in to get your keys or whatever, they dent and then they smudge, and then that's the really frustrating bit. You have to start again. So I would then just wait, leave it, and then top coat. Top coat in the same way in which you put your base coat on, let it dry, and then you're good to go. So remember, the key is not too much on your brush, small strokes, so those 3 to 4 strokes. If you're working on like a little finger, it may be just 2, but just keep it just away from the cuticle, nudge it down, round the sides, let it dry, give it a go. You can't go wrong with this technique. It's just practice. So let me know what you think. You've been with Victoria today. Remember, all you need to do is just hit subscribe to plenty more videos coming your way. Have a good day. See you soon.